Hey guys, I'm Shannon Smith from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and I am recently just decided to pretty much start over, so everything will be fresh, and I'm starting with my first segment, which will probably be a couple of minutes long for my first two favorite actors, one of which I'm strangely addicted to on the show called Bloodline, which is on Netflix, 30 episodes, I believe, and then there's going to be 30 more. 13 or 10 more, and his name is Ben Mendelsohn. He's a really great Australian actor, and he's so darn cute. And of course, I got pictures of some of these guys too. And if I ever do like a certain topic, like I got a bunch of random guys and everything like right here for certain like reasons, movie remakes, anything, then they're not going to be in any particular, or sort of like this. But which I'm most excited and anticipated for is this movie called Rogue One. Sorry if you guys can't like see the picture thingy. Which is the latest Star Wars movie for those of you guys Star Wars fans. It's like going to be a spin-off of Episode 4. Pretty much like the plans to steal the Death Star, which I think I talked about in my last video, but I deleted it. So feel free to like jump into the chat. I'll probably try to get back to you guys later, next video, whatever. But I'm gonna try to do like 2 at a time, especially like if they have a movie or something in common, which would totally be these two guys from Rogue One. And the other one being Mads Mikkelsen, who was like in Clash of the Titans with one of my other favorite actors, Liam Neeson. Mads is in the show Hannibal that's on Netflix, and I'm pretty sure it was like on City TV as well. That is Anthony Hopkins, one of my favorite actors. Hannibal Lecter, younger, and he's really great. Sweden guy, I'm pretty sure. But here, hold on. I didn't mean to kind of hold it upside down, guys, but wait, here, I'll hold it this way. Wait, hold on. So, bear with me, guys. So that one's Ben right there, and Rogue One, and hold on. I'm gonna try to get mods for you guys, cause I'm trying. Oh, and there he is. But yeah, and I'm so excited for Rogue One. I'm probably gonna pre-buy my ticket in November in case I get a job around then, because I may be having a meeting in a while or something. Oop, I'm just like trying out all these like, you know, different fonts and anything. Ooh. Whatever. But like, yeah, and I'm gonna probably do my next one in a couple of days or so, maybe. Plus, in September, I got this remake that I want to go see called The Magnificent Seven. And one of my last two guys on here in my list somewhere are two of the originals. But just for the fun of it. So, I'm a big fan of Westerns, as you guys can probably tell from some of my previous ones that I deleted and stuff, like Big Gigantic Clint Eastwood van here. Loads of movies of his I have, which I'm going to go over, like, certain ones, including movie trilogies. Like, I have a couple of the Star Wars actors that I'm going to be doing in a bit, maybe tomorrow. And I'm going to probably have my Star Wars shirt on then or something. And, yeah. So, like, I'm going to, you know, grab Harrison Ford maybe as well. Go over a bunch of his, well, the ones that I think I deserve to, like, mention kind of thingy. And one of them has one of my favorite actors, deceased actors, actually, like, has so many films, one of which is getting really random stuff that I decided to do honorable mentions. Here, give me a sec. But yeah. maybe one of these days I'll do actresses as well. But mostly it's just like my favorite guys right now. Since Rogue One, the Star Wars anthology movie, the spin-off, as mentioned, is coming out very soon. And then, who knows, maybe even one of them will probably appear in, like, the next one after, like, episode 8. Maybe even the spin-off, too. Like, if those characters survive, too. So, yeah. And I'm probably going to add a bunch of new guys, and I just did, like, some of my celebrity crushes right now. Like Ben Mendelsohn, the Australian guy from Bloodline I mentioned. He's my phone cover right now, and I'm strangely attracted to him. Like, I'm on Facebook, of course. And, like, I do this thing called role-playing, and he's my picture for, like, this character that I made a while back. But, like, I recently changed him from, like, Clint Eastwood, who I used to adore, to James Mason, that guy that I am going to do the first honorable mentions for. And I got a bunch of Star Wars guys, too, because, like, I'm so excited for next year already, for 2017, for episode 8 and 9, potentially, because, like, me and my friend love Mark Hamill a lot. Luke Skywalker, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, he voices the Joker in Batman as Luke Skywalker. And, like, I'm a big Harrison Ford fan myself. Like, Han Solo is one of my favorite guys. I think I have a shirt with him on it. No. Maybe I'll get a Harrison Ford shirt one day, though. Maybe I'll even, like, do certain ones for you guys as well. Like, leave comments in the... leave suggestions, anything in the comment section below. And I'll try to get back to you guys with, like, my next video. Like, name any celebrities, any at all. This is just, like, my first 2, so don't worry. I'll probably cover all my originals. Liam Neeson, I think, and Clint Eastwood are my next 2. Wait, hold on. Because, like, I got a list of a bunch of random people right here. Okay, just for the fun of it. And speaking of that remake, I'm going to do a 4 for 4, just to, like, keep this a little bit longer than I anticipated. A couple minutes long. But, so there's that remake, Magnificent 7, that's coming out, I think, September 17th. And I don't think it should be remade. The original, the 1961, directed by John Sturges, was a classic. It started a bunch of people. That was even a remake of a remake. Japanese Western, I believe, Akira Kurosawa, The Seventh Samurai. And then it got made into an English version in 1960 called The Magnificent 7, that started a bunch of mine and my mom's favorites, like Yul Brynner from, like, The King and I think The Ten Commandments, I think he was in. And, of course, The Magnificent 7. Charles Bronson from one of my favorite films that's also getting a remake, Death Wish, Family of Cops, which was a big stinker, kind of. For most fans, it was. And, of course, The Magnificent 7, The Great Escape. That had Steve McQueen from also The Magnificent 7, The Great Escape, Towering Inferno. I could probably go on a million more with this and with that. James Coburn, who's that other guy that I'm going to be mentioning in a couple of seconds. But, like, yeah. And eventually I'll, like, get pictures. And, like, I got a James Coburn movie that, like, I have somewhere that I really do not feel like getting. Unless I, like, brought it to my library, because I think it was overdue. Like, all my stuff. But, yeah, I think I may do, like, Clint Eastwood and Liam Neeson next. Because, for certain reasons, like, I think Clint Eastwood has this film coming out this September, I believe, called Sully, starring Tom Hanks, Aaron Eckhart, Laura Linney, probably going to be nominated for a bunch of Oscars, and I might go see that. And that comes out, like, I think September 11th or something. And, who's that? Oh, yeah, and Liam Neeson, of course, he has, oh my god, A Monster Calls, that comes out very soon. And there's this one that I don't think has a release date yet, called Silence, where he lost a lot of weight for it. It has one of the Star Wars guys. It has, oh my god, Andrew Garfield from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, Peter Parker, And it's directed by Martin Scorsese, one of my favorite directors who directed, like, Gangs in New York. And I think The Aviator, too. I haven't seen much of Martin Scorsese, actually, but I'm pretty sure he's really great. And I feel like I could totally, like, you know, mention all my guys, but that's like, I'll, like, give you guys just a random list of, like, how many of them, because I, like, went through 5 so far. But just for the fun of it. Next would be Adam Driver from this show called Girls that I never got to watch yet. He's on Netflix. I used to watch him in that, like, Hungry Heart was a really great one. While We Were Young, I think, with Ben Stiller in it. And, of course, he's the main new bad guy in episode 7 until up till episode 8, I think, because there's going to be another guy joining the fun of the evil guys. And Adam Driver's just, like, really cute, even though he has, like, some acne problems or something. But I think he's really quite cute. I'm probably going to mention a bunch of honorable mentions, like, when I'm done this video, like, people I forgot. Because I have a crush on loads of old actors. Even though I'm 23, guys, I have a crush on, like, all the old guys. Like, I don't think I have anybody, like, younger, like, my age on these. Except for, like, Scott Eastwood. He's 30. You know, didn't, like, make a list. I'll just, like, randomly give you guys, like, what whoever's been in, what to come in store potentially. But, yeah. And I got an Adam Driver type t-shirt from Star Wars. My friend gave me a Star Wars book for my birthday, which recently passed, like, 2 months ago. That has, like, I think, yeah, him and Daisy Ridley on the cover. It's Entertainment Weekly, which has, wait, hold on. This kind of thingy for Rogue One, except it's, of course, The Force Awakens, and, like, has all her bad guys, and I cannot wait to, like, probably do a trailer action. Like, I'm gonna get my iPad to work soon, you guys, so maybe I'll do a trailer action. Like, put the trailer on my phone, which I'm recording this broadcast on, and then, you know, I'll probably, like, watch and give you guys my thoughts. Or somewhat, something like that. Or maybe, like, do that in a separate reaction since I have to watch the trailer myself, too. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll even do my own trailer action. Like I just said, like, watch the trailer first, before I put it. And then, yeah. Maybe even jot down, like, a bunch of, thingies. So, yeah, Adam Driver from Girls. He's a really cute guy. I think he even won Best, actor of the MTV Awards or something like that. For the best villain, thanks to Kylo Ren. And you can probably see more. I think I mentioned this, but he's in Silence with Liam Neeson. I'm not too sure. Mentioned that. Of course, we got Mark Hamill, one of my favorite guys from Star Wars. Like, it's the 40th anniversary, I think, of the original one next year. And he's just really funny. I loved him as the Joker, too, the voice of the Joker. Now wait to see what he does next, besides Star Wars, of course. Like, he's 63 right now, so he can probably do a bunch more stuff. Maybe even some more Star Wars films, because, like, I don't know about Episode 9. Because he may die in Episode 8, I heard, like, a big gigantic rumor. I don't really know. And I'll be, like, taking questions if you guys want to, any suggestions, questions, stuff like that. Then you got James Mason, who has a lot of honorable mentions on my list. Like, he was in my favorite film, 1962, called Lolita, which is a great Stanley Kubrick film starring Peter Sellers, Shelley Winters, Sue Lyon, and it's based on a really great book by a Russian immigrant, I believe, Vladimir or something. And there's A Star is Born, which is getting remade by Bradley Cooper, and potentially starring Lady Gaga, and I think Clint Eastwood's supposed to have a cameo. And it's, like, the 4th remake for it. You have 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, one of Jules Verne's greatest stories ever, with Kirk Douglas in this one that's been remade a bunch of times. Michael Caine and somebody did it. The Verdict was a pretty good one with him, Paul Newman, and one of the greatest directors, Sidney Lumet, that did another film on this list, and a couple of others. I'm pretty sure. North by Northwest was a really great one, directed by Alfred Hitchcock himself, and I think he had a cameo in it. Eva Marie Saint was in it. Cary Grant, there's a really good slogan, Run, Don't Rock. I'm not going to give you guys, like, too much information on some of these. case you guys haven't seen it. Just like mainly the cast or whatever. Then you got the other cinema movie that I was just talking about, Child's Play. And no, it's not the Chucky one. He won an award 3rd place, I believe. And Marlon Brando was originally supposed to be in. He's one of my favorite guys that I almost didn't include in my lists. And like Robert Preston's in it. A young Beau Bridges. Then you got The Seventh Veil, which I think won Best Adapted or Original Screenplay in 1945, which was a really great movie. Sorry guys, like if my paper's in the way and stuff. The Last of Sheila, which is a really great whodunit type movie with James Coburn in it. That when I'm like talking about that's probably in a movie bag. Ian McShane, from those of you fans of Deadwood, I think that show was called. Cold Sweat starring Charles Bronson, who I was totally gonna do, but I think I mentioned him. And Salem's Lot, one of my favorite Stephen King novels. I've seen the 1979 version. Had yet to see that Donald Sutherland one, though, but maybe I'll give it a go with Rob Lowe, I believe. And James Cromwell as a priest. Rutger Hauer, I think, as this vampire. And then honorary mentions. So there's this one that's been going around, I believe. Like, I saw this amazing girl, I forget her name, Dane, I believe. Something. I think I'm subscribed to her as well. And somebody mentioned, and she did a tribute to James Mason, and like there was no footage of this film called Five Fingers. So that one has to get an obvious honorary mention. So does Rommel the Desert Fox and the Desert Rats, which was like 1952. Just letting you guys know, Five Fingers, Desert Fox or Desert Rats, I forget which one, and Julius Caesar and The Man Between won him National Board of Review, I'm pretty sure. Julius Caesar, of course, starring Marlon Brando, John Giegle, based on real-life events, of course, probably. Yeah. And also, it's a William Shakespeare play. Odd Man Out was a really great one. It could have potentially got him an Oscar nomination with, like, Kathleen Ryan. It was directed by a great director by the name of Carol Reed. And That Turn Glass Ridge is also a really great movie. I think written by his then wife, Pamela Mason. And Georgia Girl. I've never seen that, but it's his second Oscar nomination. A Star is Born was his first, and The Verdict was his last. Then you got my favorite guy, who, of course, I just mentioned earlier, I think Sully. Of course, he has his famous Italian westerns, Clint Eastwood. Like, you know, like he smokes some cigars, and like he has famous catchphrases. And directed by a really great Spanish director, I believe died in like 1980s, Sergio Leone, who directed one of my other favorite Charles films I didn't mention, Once Upon a Time in the West, with Henry Fonda. You got his Dirty Harry films that have the most famous one-liners in the whole entire planet. Pretty much like Go Ahead and Make My Day, Do You Feel Lucky Punk? And a bunch of like amazing co-stars started with him, including his ex-girlfriend at the time, Sandra Locke, who I don't like that much, but yeah. Unforgiven is one of his greatest westerns ever. It gave him his first director for Best Director, Best Picture, and he was nominated for Best Actor. And it starred like Morgan Freeman, Gene Hackman, based on this really great book that I've yet to read, but it's probably really great, especially seeing that Unforgiven did it. I think he even won Best Screenplay for the book. $1 Million Baby, which was like, I think 13 years or 14 after Unforgiven. It has the same cast. Well, Morgan Freeman, Hilary Swank, of course, Clint, Best Director, Best Picture again. And it's just this really great movie. It's based on a series of short plays, I believe. Maybe even a book called Rope Burns. And like written by Paul Haggis. The guy that originally wrote The Fugitive, Albert S. Reddy, I think. He even, like, I think produced it, too, because, like, he was, like, one of the guys accepting the Best Picture. Sorry if I'm rushing this, you guys. I'm going to try to do, like, a 30-minute video. the Any Which Way You Can, Every Which Way You Can, Any Which You Can classic comedy movies. Jeffrey Lewis, one of the guys that I was about to do, was in it, who passed away like 2 years ago, and he's one of my favorite Clint Eastwood co-stars. Ruth Gordon, who was fabulous. Sandra Locke, that ex-girlfriend. And there's funny orangutan that I think got beaten by his trainer named Clyde Manis, I think his name was actually. Mystic River is a really great movie with like Sean Penn, Tim Robbins, Lawrence Fishburne, Kevin Bacon, and it's based off this really great novel, which you're actually watching on this Clint Eastwood fanboy type fan forum, where like you can like talk about Clint Eastwood constantly and just like Clint Eastwood and like what films you were watching, non-Clint related or whatever. Bird was really great with Forrest Whitaker, speaking of Rogue One as well, because like he is Sam Guerrero, pretty sure. About the saxophonist that's struggling with alcoholism, I believe, and probably racism, and it's a jazz type movie, not really my forte, but yeah. And you got Outlaw Josey Wales, one of the greatest westerns ever, besides Unforgiven, 1976. He actually has a cameo from his little son at the time, Kyle, who was, I think, 8 years old then, as Josie's son. He's not credited, though, I don't think, you guys, so that was not, like, a spoiler or whatever. Pale Rider is also one of the greatest westerns ever. And if you guys have seen High Plains Drifter, it's potentially, like, the unannounced sequel to High Plains Drifter, Pale Rider. He has a beer that he used to make around 1985 called Pale Rider again. I think it used to be served at his restaurants, like Pog's Breath and stuff, in Carmel, California. Sorry. And Jersey Boys, which happens to be, like, one of my favorite musicals. I want to go see it live, but, like, the film's now on my Netflix, with, like, Christopher Walken in it, and a bunch of people from the Broadway renditions. So, I got, like, a bunch of fans that love my Liam Neeson videos on here, on Facebook, like, social media type stuff. So, since I'm, like, a big, gigantic Star Wars fan, here's my top 10 Liam Neeson ones, and they're, like, no particular order, and you guys probably know the ones they're missing, so I'm gonna count those ones as, honorary ones. Some I haven't even seen, you guys, so, yeah. So, like, number one, and remember, no particular order, is Star Wars, since I'm a big, gigantic Star Wars fan. It's episode 1, The Phantom Menace, even though, like, it's not really episode 1. It's, like, episode 5, if you were to count it the right way. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. So, and he even has a voice in episode 2 or 3, I believe. The Anakin, no. And he's the guy that actually discovered Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader, if you guys are fans of the original Star Wars. Go check that one out if you guys want. With Natalie Portman, I believe, in it, too, from, like, Black Swan, V for Vendetta, I think, or is that Keira Knightley? Because I think Keira Knightley even was the main guard as well, and sort of like a stunt double for Natalie Portman. Jake Lloyd from Jingle All the Way, that little kid Jamie, he's your young little Anakin Skywalker. And oh my god, Ewan McGregor, who I just love, like, he has the cute name and everything too, is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and there's actually rumors that he could be like in this anthology, like between episodes 3 and 4. Plenty of time, like 20 or more years. And Ewan may be Obi-Wan Kenobi. And maybe like Kenobi or something. Number 2 happens to be Taken. Les Miserables. Just because, like, I love that movie, actually, even though I forgot to, like, mention in my original top 10. It's going to even be a TV show, I heard, too. And I wonder, like, who they're going to cast. If there's going to be, like, the same thingy, like, singing. Even though there probably won't be, just because